Least favorite mod I've played. Probably a mod that I can't remember the name of. That didn't have quest markers and didn't have voice acting. It was basically just go here, grab this note, go here, grab this note, like a follow a trail of breadcrumbs. Follow a trail of breadcrumbs. It wasn't great. I didn't enjoy it. The bread comes for thee.
Ew. You are so gross. You are so nasty.
Why are you making it sexual? It's not sexual.
You're the one who said it.
Ask not for whom the bread.
You're just fumbling on your words now.
Ask not for who the bread comes. It comes for thee.
You're just so gross.
I mean, it's gonna arrive. Stop poking me.
Awful.
Freudian slip. Do not come to my house and ask for toast, I suppose.
You're so gross. You're so gross. I can't look at bread the same anymore now.
That reminds me of another loaf bread. I was trying to move past it. I was trying to ignore it. You brought attention to it. When the bread rises, it oh, gross.
You are just, oh my god.
I'm not the one typing that.
Don't read it out loud then. You nasty.
All right.
You're so nasty.
Okay.
Cease and desist, sir.
Cease and desist.
Cease and desist.
Okay. We're moving on.
Thank you, Zoe's the best dog.
Yes, the only thing that goes on toast is butter, jam, peanut butter, that, yeah.
And deli meats.
Yes.
And lettuce.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
With the deli meats.
Yes.
Cheese.
Nutella, ew, gross.
I've never had Nutella before, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, me neither. New Vegas Bounties 3's canceled sequel story-based. There's a lot of stuff that some guy never actually finished, but, I guess that's what happens,
Firearms instructor is going to go on a keto diet now because of you.
You're welcome.
And I wouldn't say that I don't like Nutella, I just never tried it,
It looks like it's gross.
You don't know until you try it.
I don't. I'm judging the book by its cover.
Like I tried having crab, but crab winds up making me feel a bit sick.
Yes.
Depending upon the cooking, of course. But
Favorite lunch meat? Turkey.
I have a variety of different favorites, but I technically do tend to like ham, chicken, and turkey. Those are my go-tos for deli. Honey hams.
Yes. Yeah, I'm also not big on chocolate or anything. M4A1 or M4A1? What? Zoe, what are you asking? M4A2. I don't know. Was trying to wait for us to finish Resident Evil 4 Remake to watch it all. Any idea when I'll finish that, if at all, or has it fallen off the radar? It is on our to-do list, but we have just been kind of going balls to the wall with New Vegas and Fallout 4 and Skyrim the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. Like, we've got a lot prepared for what's coming up, because who knows, maybe Starfield is the best thing since sliced bread, and we'll play a lot of Starfield, so it's good to have these extra episodes of Fallout and Skyrim in the reserves in case that is the case.
Yeah.
But I would like to get back to that and finish it, because Resident Evil 4, the original one, was a great game. I'd like to see what they did to it. Hoping that it wasn't dropped. Hopefully, we will be getting to that.
Huh.
Yes.
And I would like to get to the Jak and Daxter series as well very soon.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Take a break from Tak and Skyrim and play some Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Do I prefer bread with the crust or without the crust? I eat bread with the crust because it comes with crust.
I always eat my bread toasted.
Yeah, it's all good. So I think someone said there was a a direct, a Starfield direct that was an hour long. I think Zach watched that without me. Starfield direct. I think we were going to watch it together, but things came up. Yeah, that was the 3 million views on the gameplay deep dive. There's also a 3-minute trailer we can take a look at. Take a look at these things. So there's the deep dive from Bethesda. There's the Xbox Games Showcase. There's the settled system. All right, I'll take a look at that. There's the extended gameplay overview for 45 minutes. All right. I want to see the extended dialogue overview. Okay. Well...
Is this where you're gonna dive into Starfield more?
Yeah, I think I'll start looking into Starfield right now.
Okay, then I'll probably head out now.
Okay, sounds good, honey.
Just so you can focus on that and I'm not distracting you or anything.
All right. Well, I appreciate you joining us because it's been nice to have you and be poked by you mercilessly for things I didn't even do. I just misspoke.
Yes, you-
Any
Thank
chance
you,
for
everybody.
a cooking stream? Last time I improvised a cooking
The
session.
concoction.
Don't call it that.
It's the concoction.
It was edible.
That doesn't mean it tasted good, honey, and it stunk throughout the house.
It didn't taste bad. It didn't taste.
There was no flavor, honey.
I boiled
you
away.
You said it yourself. There was no flavor.
So there's no bad flavor. I boiled away
You want it to taste like something so you can eat it.
You were worried. You're like, oh, honey, you put in too much onion and garlic. And it's like, don't worry,
Yeah,
I boiled it all away.
And the smell of burnt onion and garlic was throughout the house. Even if you burned it away, you didn't burn away the smell.
Smells are free. You're welcome.
I didn't want that smell throughout the house. Ugh.
Alrighty, well, I'm headed out, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to join everybody on the stream.
Well, thank you for blessing us with it. It being your presence. Thank you.
Aw, well, thank you, honey.
And now without you, we will indeed talk about things that may include toast. Thank you, Panzer.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Thoughts on Spam? It has been many a decade since I've eaten Spam. I remember it not being bad, though. Preserved meat. It's not bad. Talk about... No, I'm not talking about that. Stop it. All right. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Your comment got buried again. Let me see. You've been working on Mass Effect potential TV show adaptation. Well, more power to you. John Goodman is the voice of Rex. I don't see that. But more power to you. So we'll pause Diddy Kong Racing. And now we'll start checking some of this stuff out. So let's see. What should I start with? The gameplay trailer, it's only 3 minutes long, I guess. Okay. Yeah, we'll start taking a look at this, I suppose. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to make it widescreen. There we go. Yeah. So now we'll start taking a look at some of the Starfield stuff so I can get my hands on it. Well, you know, get my head wrapped around what Starfield is going to be. Because at this point, I'm still not entirely sure. I'm just not entirely sure. So what would I like from Starfield? I would, honestly, I'm not sure what to expect. I guess my expectations are low. Maybe not Fallout 76 expectations low. I think it's going to be better than that, but I'm worried that it's going to be Fallout 4 in space. Based on some of the things that I've seen, it just feels like it's going to be Fallout 4 with a different coat of paint, and I'm hoping that after watching some of these trailers and things like that, my worries will be assuaged. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, though. But I hope the dialogue system is significantly better because it's been, what, a decade and a half since we have improvements in that. The Fallout New Vegas had the best dialogue system, and it's been downhill since then. Trying to struggle uphill. I'm really hoping that Starfield brings something new to the dialogue system to make it really punchy. I hope the speech checks are more than just, like, binary or random chance. I'm really hoping they worked on that. I hope the story is good and not railroady. I think you had the ability to choose your own backstory from the little bits I've seen, so that's good, because the forced backstory has been really obnoxious for the last few games. Yeah, I just hope it's good. It's one of Todd's passion projects. Well, a lot of people have passion projects that don't turn out to be good, you know? The NZR campaign for the Frontier was someone's passion project at one point too, you know? Have I watched any of the classic Evil Dead movies? Nope, I have not seen almost any movies.
I've seen the first Evil Dead original movie.
The only thing I know is the one scene where the moose head comes to life and starts laughing and everyone's dancing, and that was just the big old fun there.
Join us. That's pretty much how it went.
I think I showed you the glove and boots version of that where it's done with puppets.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That was a good one.
Agent Fuse, you say that 76's post-Wastelanders dialogue system wasn't bad considering. I think it was. I think it's better compared to Fallout 4's, but I think strictly having a pass-fail check based on the special system is going to be very bland and boring. I think having that kind of dialogue system is a lot like Mass Effect Andromeda's dialogue system, where it seems like on paper it would be better, but it didn't feel very good. You know, there's a point to be made that the original trilogy's very simplistic red and blue Paragon Renegade system was too simplistic, but choosing those red and blue options felt good a lot, and going to Andromeda's dialogue system where everything just kind of had this kind of malaise. It's like a beige feel is what it was. Like nothing really stood out. It wasn't really all that punchy. So even though if you had asked me what kind of dialogue system I wanted for a new Mass Effect game, I would have described what they gave us in Andromeda. But what they gave us in Andromeda wasn't that great. It felt worse. It was better, but it felt worse. And game feel is very important, I suppose. If they made an inventive dialogue system, you would assume they would show it off. It seems like it's going to be pretty basic in your guess, which will make the story feel at best a basic bad system, if it is. Again, I have not seen much of the promotional material, which is why I'm going to start looking into it right now. The audio might be a little quiet.
Not that the field of ours is so vast, but that we have measured it.
This is probably just going to showcase a little bit of the cinematics and stuff like that. Some of the vistas, maybe some of the plot. I know that robot's going to be the dog meat for this game. Everyone's going to love the robot. The companion that doesn't talk. Oh, yeah. Someone asked, Sidef, will Legion Mike end up in Fallout Dust? Nope, probably not. Probably not going to showcase anything from Dust anymore. We've basically showcased everything we're going to show in Dust. We didn't even do a proper Dust playthrough because arguably a Dust playthrough would include struggling for hours at a time, and I just kind of skipped all that with Zach. There's other survival games I think would be a bit more interesting. Yeah, so we're just going to move on from that. Keep in mind that this trailer is older than what the direct showcases. Yep. I'm looking forward to looking through a few of these things. I'll be disappointed together. We'll see, yeah.
We're all here because we're committed to the biggest question of all. What's out there?
What is out there? Planets. Lots of planets. Hopefully it's not too quiet. Turn the audio up a little bit for you. Was Dust already a year ago? Yeah.
You're part of Constellation now. Part of our family.
From what I've seen, this is going to not make you the chosen one. You are just going to be some kind of guy gathering crystals or alien
We do not fully understand
things.
all that is at work here.
Which is good.
No finer group in the stars to be unraveling this mystery.
I'll follow you from here on out, Captain.
Grab jump is ready.
Turn the audio up a little bit more. Hopefully that's not too loud.
These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for.
Yeah, you're just
Another
a
great
guy or a gal
secret
going
the
around gathering
universe is
artifacts.
asking us to unravel.
Human settlements throughout the galaxy could be at risk.
So you're fighting some pirates with a pistol, drop a landmine on an ecliptic. A spacer punk.
We are not stopping. Whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever.
Nice environments, though. Aesthetically looks very pleasing.
This is where we belong.
This is just space Fallout 4. It is very much what I'm worried about. So one of the things that catches my eye and makes me worry is in all the combat they've showcased you fighting humanoid enemies, and I'm just kind of tired of fighting generic humanoid enemies. It's just another coat of paint on the enemy we've been fighting for the last 20 years, you know? We had Talon Company mercs, and we had raiders, and we have bandits from Skyrim, and we have the gunners from Fallout 4. Just humans that you can't talk to. They're just hostile, and you have to kill hundreds of humans. You just have to start slaughtering them. And at no point do you question your humanity. You're just expected to go around murdering people. And I think that's what New Vegas did really well, is that you can beat New Vegas as a pacifist, and you can also complete the majority of the quests as a pacifist. You don't have to kill very many people, and in some ways, you don't have to kill anyone if you play it right, depending on how you define killing people. Obviously, like when you fight NCR Legion Very Final Battle, there are going to be people dying, and you might have to participate in that, but for the most part, you can complete most quests without killing anyone. And I would really like it if that were an option. If pacifism were an option, even if I didn't want to take it, I would love to have that as an option. And I feel like the Spacers and the Pirates, it's all very samey. It's all going to be different flavors of Forsworn, these just generic enemies. And I'm really worried about that, because every time I've seen combat in this game, it's always been against generic human enemies. And it makes me worry. It makes me worry. Thank you, Robot Toast, for asking. My week has been good. You think the Direct will have some info I will be interested in? Yes, I hope to get to that. How did a man like me get into a position of trust in a place of power and privilege? I guess passion? I don't know. Let's see, there's the gameplay deep dive, and there's the Starfield settled systems. It's only 3 minutes long. We'll take a look at that quick. Is this about their space settlement systems over here? Oh, this is from 3 days ago. Dang, all right. This is pretty recent. This is a very recent video. If they have base building in this game, I'm not going to cry about it. You know, whatever. It's not the kind of thing that entices me, but it might serve gameplay purposes. It might be interesting enough. They're just animated shorts. They aren't gameplay stuff. Oh, okay. It's just building up the lore here, huh? Looks like an anime here. Okay. Never mind. It's not about gameplay. All right, never mind. Forget about that. I might take a look at that later, but I'm more interested in what the game is going to be like. So we got official gameplay reveal from a year ago. So this isn't the most recent one. This is from a year ago. We'll take a quick look at that, and then go into the direct stuff from a month ago. You want to see aliens, Best Dog. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing aliens. Again, I feel like if you had some kind of aliens, you could have some more variety instead of just generic human enemies. You know, a hostile alien species or multiple alien species would definitely add some variety. But I haven't seen anything like that. And understandably, I could understand if they didn't want to showcase the aliens to keep that under wraps. But I also heard there might not be aliens in general. And if that's the case, it might just be a reskinned Fallout 4, and all the enemies just might be a slog to get through. But anyway. Another space settlement needs your help.
That gives you a look at the stories in Starfield. But ultimately, it's not our...
Apparently I skipped into the middle of it.
Board. Grab jump commencing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Try not to have high expectations. We already had enough with Callisto Protocol. Good grief. Yeah. Again.
It's hard to express how excited all of us at Bethesda are to be here with you today. We're so grateful you're spending the time, and we know you...
Yeah, there's just so many disappointing games that have come out recently. It's really hard to stomach that. And again, it's hard to motivate myself. I'm trying not to be a downer about this. Starfield could be good. Starfield has the potential to be good. But there have been a lot of games out that have not been good recently. A lot of things that people have been looking forward to that have been bad. So we will have to see.
We've waited a long time to finally see Starfield. It's easily our most ambitious game ever. Like our previous games, it's an epic role-playing game where you get to be who you want and go where you want. But this time, you'll be exploring space. So let's jump right in. This is early in the game as you arrive on the mysterious moon of Crete.
The thing about space is that it's really easy to render because it's mostly empty. Oh, there you go. There's 16 times the graphics. Soul date. So game takes place in 2330, so 300 years in the future. On Crete. Pretty ambitious to predict we'll still be around in 300 years, but you know, we'll roll with that. I like fiction. You say Todd got old? Well, haven't we all? We're all kind of old, aren't we? We'll just full screen. There you go. So I'm not the robot, I don't think. I guess I'm assuming to be playing in first person, following the robot, which is going to be our little robot companion. You know, it could be fun. I don't think he's
the scanners. The abandoned research facility is in this direction.
This robot seems like it could be fun, you know? He talks, which is great. You know, there are a lot of robots in these games that don't talk, and they're kind of lacking in personality. And some that maybe talk, and they're not fun, like Codsworth. But this one could be fun. You got some alien life here. That's nice. Customize the robot. That'd be nice. So Crete, some alien right there. Okay, yeah. I think I have seen a bit of this. I think Zach and I talked about this a year ago. This is the one that we watched together, and then we made a little podcast video on this. It's starting to come back to me. Yeah, so there's going to be some aliens here. He's going to walk around, explore the planet. You know, theoretically, this could be great. Lots of little biomes. If they're all like the size, they don't necessarily have to be as big as, but if they were like little DLCs, you jump from planet to planet and you can explore an area the size of like what's that Fallout 3 DLC? You know, the one that everyone really likes because it's the best one. The one that's the open area. You know, I'm thinking like lots of planets are roughly that size. There's like maybe 50 things to do. Yeah, Point Lookout. Thank you.
It would appear that pirates of the Crimson Fleet are using the facility.
So, Crimson Fleet, another generic humanoid enemy. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. Again, Zach pointed out that the HUD on top of the gun looks pretty nice. It shows you your ammo canner. It's pretty cool. I have no doubt that the gunplay is going to be fun. The weapon customization could probably be fun too.
Hold them off here while Brogan sets up on the roof. No one's getting through.
And then we just have to start killing waves and waves of pirates. They're hostile immediately, charging at you. Shoot them, murder them. Don't question the morality of it, just murder them. Don't even try to talk them down. Yeah, so there's just combat here. You got a quick select grenade, that's pretty nice. Weapon select, that's nice. Shotgun, oh, that's nice, yeah. Have I seen the Starfield Direct? We're going to get to that. We're going to watch this, and then we're going to watch the Starfield Direct stuff. But we're just going to, yeah, again, the lock-picking. Again, this might not be that bad, but I played this in the original Ratchet & Clank game back in, what, 2002? It's not all that enticing for me. I'm going to mod this out the first chance I get. But it's so simple to do. Yeah, it's also not why I'm playing games like this. It's probably also going to get really annoying when I have to do it the 50th time. Shotgun with a square barrel. Oof. Zach, I remember Zach mentioning how much that takes up the screen there, that shotgun. Yeah. The Institute pistols from the Fallout 4 game. It's, I don't know, maybe they redesigned that gun. Maybe they could have taken some feedback. I don't know. Again, this video is a year old. They could have made some changes since then.
After some initial encounters, you're invited to join Constellation, who, in the future the game is set in...
Excuse me, you say the HUD in the lower left is confusing. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make about this. I'm guessing this is north, oxygen level, and carbon dioxide level. Maybe it'll make more sense when we're there. I'm guessing once the wheel is turning around, like there's stuff over here. Yeah, I'm not sure. That might be a thing that'll have to get modded out too. Just replace this for a more traditional Skyrim style map thing. I don't know. There's always a lot of customizable HUD elements. Oh, maybe the game will ship with customizable HUD elements. We don't know. Spectacular explosion. Yep. Simulating the wonky physics-based explosions from the previous games. Yeah. So you got your ship. I heard that's customizable. That's pretty cool. But I mean, I was doing ship customization and Ratchet and Clank going commando. Not exactly a new concept. I'm sure there's lots of great environments, a lot of great character designs.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. We're all here.
The one-on-one
because
character
we're committed
interface
to
seems
the
nice.
biggest question of all.
Kind of reminds me of Outer Worlds, which had a pretty nice one.
There. These artifacts could be everything we've been looking
Hopefully
for.
the faction leaders are a bit more tolerable this time around.
What they're building. You'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
So, you found something?
The new guy found it.
You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it.
Yeah, that part where his eyebrows just kind of jut up is pretty extreme.
The artifact you found appears to be one of many, scattered across the galaxy. If we can find more, we can unlock their secrets.
Beautiful, isn't it? The man who sold me this told me that it spoke to him.
Hey, Nick.
Of course, the Settle Systems is full of groups with other priorities.
That's the Crimson Fleet!
Oh, the Crimson Fleet, the pirates. Oh, I get the pirates. The spacers, oh no.
Agreed to work for UCC staff. Together, we take down these cutthroat pirates.
Yeah, the character designs do look better. The models look
Not
nice.
just here to shoot the bad guys.
This isn't
We're
2010 anymore.
We protect the people of the Free Star Collective.
When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, no one quits. The only way out is death.
The path ahead may be dangerous,
There's a nice little cutscene that they had there. Kind of reminds me of when you meet
but we are not
the
stopping.
mayor of Good Neighbor.
Most Dusties don't even make it this far.
It's
Because
Garrus.
whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever.
Yeah, I'm not seeing... Yeah, you're right. There's not a whole lot of gameplay. It's a lot of cinematic
Ultimately-
stuff. Pieces here, pieces there. Okay, character creation stuff. You know, they got
Customize
that...
all the elements of how you look.
Yep, the body slider. It's not bad. I'm sure one of the first mods will be busty, beautiful
pick a
enhancers,
background that gives
make
you
them
free
ridiculously
starting
proportioned. So they got this system where you can just choose from a list of things, and I'm used to that and everything, and I'm not surprised they have it, but kind of wish the things would be a little different this time around, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of choice paralysis here, because they're going to drop you in the game, and you're going to design your character, and they're going to ask you which of these backgrounds you want, and there's so many to choose from. And you're not really going to know if diplomacy is going to be good in this game, because how many people can you talk to? Is it going to be like Fallout 4, where most people are inherently hostile? You're going to do a lot of shooting. Is persuasion going to be good? Are you going to have a lot of speech challenges, or is it going to be mostly combat? Like, it's hard to say. So maybe not front-loading all of the different choices would be a good idea. I'm not sure. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. Just my initial reaction seems like, maybe they could have done things a little different this time around. I don't know.
Says here you spent some time as a diplomat.
Oh, hey, it's Javik from Mass Effect.
A way with words might prove useful.
There are optional traits, and these come with unique advantages and disadvantages.
You thought I liked choices? I do. Again, I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. You know, this stuff seems nice. I do feel like they could have eased you into it, though. You know, again, they might have just cut to like an hour or two in, so I don't know. But I like choice, but it's also important from a gameplay design standpoint to not overwhelm the player with choice. And I feel like they haven't really made based on what I've seen here, they have not made much in terms of changes in that regard. But you know, it's pretty much standard. Nothing wrong with standard, I suppose. But we'll see.
But it's not just in how you can look, but in how your character plays and develops.
Not that it matters too much, because
Skill system combines
you'll see him from first-person view anyway, so you won't really see him all that often, which is fine. Maybe they'll be in cutscenes, who knows. Starfield is going to be the new New Vegas in terms of mods. Well, it also might be the new Outer Worlds if it's not great. We'll see. And again, more choice paralysis if this stuff is kind of overwhelming. We'll have to see. It's not too far removed from the Skyrim system. People like the Skyrim system, so whatever.
Best from our previous games, and you can.
This is the kind of system where you'd get about 40 levels in, and then it's like, congratulations, you're at level 41, and you go, all right, where am I going to stick this point? I don't even know where I'm going to put it. I will shove it in demolitions, I guess. Yeah, sure, explosives do more, 30% more damage. Whatever, sure. So, yeah, it's fine.
Unlock new skills as you level up, and then you rank those skills up by using them.
Thank you,
completing
Scollins.
challenges. And there's deep crafting systems, from running research projects with.
Outer Worlds had Pavarti, and Pavarti is love. True, but Parvati could not save the entire game. Most people do not remember Outer Worlds very well. It's not a thing that people talk about these days, other than as a comparison, because it's the kind of game you beat once and then you just kind of move on from. Doesn't really have that long-lasting impact on, I guess, the... I'm struggling for words here. It's got, you play it and then you kind of move on. It didn't really have an impact on the gaming scene. In sharp contrast to the Outer Wilds, yes, Outer Wilds is phenomenal. Absolutely, 100% recommend. I've been trying to make videos on some of my favorite games of all times, and I'm sure if I can, Outer Wilds would get a video too. But those take a bit of time.
Resources you find to crafting weapons.
You're sad that we never finished Outer Wilds. I actually did finish Outer Wilds. I played it all the way to the end in my spare time, and then I tried to get Zach to beat it. But yeah, I started to struggle with it and started to get frustrated. Maybe we'll get back to it eventually. I think it'd be a good candidate if we wanted to stream a game. But yeah, we're just taking a break from that now. And maybe we'll get back to it. If we don't, we saw a lot of it already. It's fine.
Mods needed
it is great, though. It's got a great story. It's worth beating. But yeah, the design choice for having a level that's nothing but time limits, and yeah, there are some design elements that make it a bit tricky to beat to the end.
Survive.
Again, there's a weapon customization. I'm sure that'll be fine. Again, very blocky, taking up maybe a bit too much of the screen. Mining for minerals.
And you can build your own outposts. These act as a home away from home for survival and resource generation.
Scan for iridium, I
choose
suppose.
Where and how to build each one, and you can hire characters you meet to keep it up and running.
I'm sure it might be the kind of thing you might want to. you try to play it fairly for a bit, but then you realize you're running low on a certain resource. You just console command a bunch of it because you're trying to. Come on, let's move on. We'll see.
But that's not all.
The base building actually looks usable. Yeah, that'd be nice if that's the case.
Spaceships.
Set up an auto miner. Nice spaceship looking thing.
You can choose crew members. And yes, you can completely customize.
So choosing crew members is a great idea, I think. It's kind of like choosing people to live at your settlement. You can choose settlers, I suppose. And we have seen with our playthrough of Fallout 4 with the 3D NPCs mod installed that you could have some very interesting companions, interesting settlers that don't necessarily follow you. They're not companions, but they've got a personality. There's more effort put into them than just generic settlers. So being able to pick and choose who could be on your crew could be an interesting twist on that. That could be a lot of fun. Hot blue aliens? Yeah. If you find a hot blue alien, maybe you could include her on your team too.
The look and layout. There's loads of different modules.
There's a lot of spacecraft building games out there. It reminds me of like Kingdom of Hearts, or like a bad comparison might be Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, or even the most recent what's that? Tears of the Kingdom Zelda game, where you start out trying to build these cool things, and then from what I've heard, you eventually just settle on like a plank with 2 rockets because it's just the most optimal thing you can do. So we'll see how much use the actual ship customization gets. But it could also be a lot like Subnautica, where you just have a lot of fun building your own thing. You craft settlements and then you drive your settlements around. It could be a lot of fun.
Manufacturers and
Kingdom Hearts has spaceship building. I think the second one does, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It's I was never too big into those games, but I am aware of some of those things.
More. I have to say, it's so cool. We just absolutely love this.
Yeah, spaceship customization could be a lot of fun. It could be a thing you play around with for an hour, or it could be a thing you're constantly messing with.
It's not just how the ship looks, it's how it performs. From engines to shields to weapon systems. Because yes, you can fly it.
Do some spaceship dogfighting, Star Fox style. Say the lack of cool aliens to recruit could be a turnoff. Well, maybe they just say there's no aliens and they're secretly hiding them. So it could be a big old surprise. I never know. It's pretty ballsy to make a game set in space travel in the distant future but not include any aliens. Any, sentient aliens. Yes, looks like some space battles here. Pretty cool. Not really what I play these Bethesda games for. I'm kind of looking more for an RPG. Yeah, it seems like it could be fun. I've played a lot of games like this, Star Fox, Ratchet & Clank Going Commando. I played a Star Fox similar game on Steam recently. Yeah, it could be fun. As long as it's not overdone, I will say. If they try and cram it in every 5 minutes, it's gonna get really tedious. Thank you, Not Half Good. Thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. You get combat experience, you level up by shooting people out of the sky. Don't question the morality of it, just kill, kill, kill.
We can't wait.
Zodiac, that's the one. Yeah, X Zodiac is the game. Thank you.
Again for
X Zodiac is the game that I played. It's not a full release yet. I played the early version of it, but it's very much Star Fox 64, and it is great. If that game gets a full release, you can probably bet I'll show it off on the channel in some way or form, because it's been a lot of fun. Would I ever play D&D? If I ever had the time, maybe.
being with us today, and thanks for all the support you've given us over the decades, especially
What have you
on
missed?
this
Not
game.
much. Just kind of chilling,
It's
hanging
been
out.
An incredible journey for us making it, but we know that's really.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna skip this out. I'm trying to look for the gameplay. I
Also
got a
land
lot
and
to sift
explore
through.
Barren but resource-heavy ice balls.
Oh gosh.
Also land and explore anywhere on the planet.
Ugh. Okay, one of the things I liked from the Mass Effect series is being able to go to a planet and look at the planet's dossier. Gravity is 90% of Earth. It's temperate. Atmosphere has got some oxygen. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. This could be a lot of fun. I don't really see a description of it, but maybe the description gets added after you've been on there for a bit, or maybe there is no description because no one reads the description anyway. Could be a lot of fun. This could be a lot of fun. I don't want to dismiss this immediately offhandedly. It could be a lot of fun.
And it's not just this planet. It's all the planets in the system.
It shows you the gravity well. It's pretty cool, but planets aren't normally that close. I guess it's all just for convenience, Because I know in Mass Effect, traversing from one planet to the other could take a bit of time. Because it wasn't necessarily to scale, but it was a bit more to scale than this. This feels very cramped, but it's probably optimal for gameplay. So you get a little mini-map up here. Oh, it shows you can survey. Oh gosh, I feel like each planet is going to be like 5% of a survey. And I'm going to want to get 100% of a survey, so I'm going to try and micro-mine every single planet. Get iridium, scan this for palladium, element 0. It's a tedious Mass Effect 2 scanning minigame all over again. Hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be better than that, but I have not had good experience with planet scanning minigames.
From barren but resource-heavy ice balls to Goldilocks planets with life. And not just this system, but over 100 systems. Over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore.
Sounds like fun.
We can't wait to see what you find.
It sounds like a lot of fun. And honestly, it feels like it could be a great premise for modding too, because so many modders try to use the existing game world, but now you don't have to, because you could make a planet rotating a star system and say, yeah, if you want to go to this mod, if you want to start this mod, go to the Alphi Centauri system and land on the green planet. And then you could have their own little micro world, It could be like a 2-hour adventure. I can see this being great for modding. Ooh, Lush Garden World. Yeah, I can see this format of having small little micro biomes and small little sections of various planets to explore being very useful for modders who want to tell a small isolated story. You can't wait for someone to mod this into a better Star Citizen. You feel like most planets are going to have the same flora and fauna, but it still seems pretty cool. They might have some shared elements. It's possible. All right, so that was the thing from like a year ago, I think. So let's start checking out the direct stuff. We got the gameplay deep dive and the extended gameplay overview. Which one came out first? This one came out June 11. That one came out... Okay, they both came out at the same time. All right, we'll check out... Oof, are they the same thing? 45 minutes, 45... Oop, well, I just closed that one. Guess we're looking at this one instead. Full presentation of the direct. All right, we'll just skip a little bit of this.
Here, and that's all that limited in where you
This is the direct presentation from a month ago. I didn't actually watch it entirely. I watched a bit of it, but I didn't get to see all of it. I'm sure this is a big presentation. I'm sure they were showing off a lot of stuff that we've already seen.
Yes, you can visit it too.
See that mountain? You can climb it. Haha.
Realistically simulate the galaxy around you.
It looks nice. There's so many different shots here that could make good background screensavers, you know?
To light the world based on the type of star and the makeup of the planet's atmosphere.
You stole that from Earth.
We also have an all-new animation system.
I can skip with L and J. Oh,
you can play it in third person, and you can play it in first person.
What about second person? Because Zach and I recently found out you can play Skyrim in second person with mods. He cast a spell on me, and then he plays the game from my point of view. It's very trippy. So we're second point of view. Show me second point of view. I want to play the game from the robot's point of view, watching myself walking around from his point of view. It sounds like a nightmare. Oh, it is. It is absolutely a nightmare.
We love exploration and rewarding it, but you do explore differently in this game given its scale.
So it says 4 fauna and 3 flora and 8 resources. It'd be pretty cool if there was like a checklist of different species you could hunt down. Just imagine like a hunting game, but instead of hunting them, you're scanning them, you know? It'd be a lot of fun. You're like, oh, we saw this giraffe-elephant hybrid-looking creature, and you scan it, and the data gets added to your Pokedex, and you're like, cool, that's really awesome. And you move on to the next one. You try and find your favorites.
That usually involves exploring an area you've landed in. You can collect resources. This game, given
so we got the moon here, Porima's moon. Temperature is cold, no oxygen. I wonder if you're not allowed to take your helmet off on certain planets, but on other planets you are. Or if you're always in your spacesuit. I don't know. Mass Effect Snap. Yeah, that'd be great.
An area you've landed in.
That could be a lot of fun. Mass Effect Snap sounds like a great premise. Yeah, mining, I know. You had that in Skyrim.
Do a mission and maybe even stumble upon something unexpected.
What's your carry capacity? Mining could be a real hassle if you do a lot of that. Welcome to the abandoned mine. Oh, it's not abandoned after all. There's Spacer Punk. So we're gonna have spacers and pirates all over the place. Look, you couldn't talk them down. They were just inherently hostile. Yep. Gun them all down. Murder, murder, murder. Fun explosions. Yep. And then you loot their bodies.
Love stuff and all of the items allowing you to pick everything up, and you can view.
I love stuff. That's such a stuff. I know it's all about looting and everything. I know looting is a big draw to this kind of game, but like it shouldn't be the primary draw. I really want to see the dialogue system. I'm really hoping the dialogue system is good.
All that in your data menu. This is the...
Oof. Seems a bit busy. Seems a bit complicated. Where is my cursor even located? Like, where is the player's cursor currently located? I can't really see it.
Hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory.
Is it just on that wheel?
in your data menu. This is the hub for everything you're doing, from your skills to your ship, your missions, and your inventory.
All right.
We love to pack a ton of detail in every object, from all of your weapons to spacesuits to food. We just obsess over the details, and food. We obsess over food.
I wonder if food is going to be useful in this game, because I know previously, you know, stim packs and med packs had a lot more utility, honestly, a lot more utility. And then Fallout 4 gave food items their own special stat boosting temporary benefits, so I'm not sure if that's going to be the same case for this one.
When you're done exploring, you can...
Yeah, the inventory system does look very packed. Is it going to... Oh, I know you like to have a wide variety of foods, but am I going to be scrolling past all these foods trying to get to the items that I want? The menu systems for Fallout 4 have been really cumbersome. You got tabs and sub-tabs. I really hope the menu system is better in this game.
And walk back or fast travel to your ship. We have companions and crew you can take with you. I left Vasco here back at my ship.
Welcome back, Captain Howard.
And he can even say your name. Let's head out.
Being able to say your name is cool. It's a fun little gimmick, just like Codsworth had.
Our mission was to convey the wonder and majesty of space exploration, to evoke the romance of the golden age of early spaceflight. And we've been referring to this approach as NASA Punk. This means a design language.
You say they need to simplify the UI. Well, that's the kind of thing that can...
looks grounded and relatable.
Simplifying the UI is the kind of thing that can be done with mods if you're the kind of person like me who modifies things with mods. But mods can only do so much, and if the root problems with Starfield are really deep, then there's going to be issues that even modders can't fix. Again, if the dialogue... For example, Fallout 4 modders have trouble with the forced voice protagonist and the limited dialogue system, only limiting you to 4 choices. There's inherent issues that even modders, it makes life difficult for them. So Starfield itself is going to need to have a nice, solid foundation for modders to build on.
For us, it's that contrast. That's where the visual interest is. Obviously the NASA, which is the rigid, hard function over style, and then Punk.
There's no VA for player characters. Yeah, I'm just using that as an example of a design element that worked against them. Hopefully Starfield doesn't have any elements like that, or a very minimal amount of them.
Which is all about
It's
style.
just Fallout Outer Worlds
You
so
can
far.
see that visual
Maybe.
style coming through in your ship. Your ship is your home for you and your crew. And like many of the spaces in our game, it has a slightly retro and analog touch. A bit of lo-fi rather than sci-fi, where everything is well used, worn, and lived in.
Yes, your ship looks nice, I'm sure.
Big. And it's here you can
there's
see
star
planets
systems.
that have key locations, missions, or life on them, versus the many planets that are barren but resource heavy. Zoom out even further to see all the systems in this part of the galaxy. Here you can plot a course to ones that are light years away. This uses your ship's grav drive.
Roaming your
fold
ship while it's
space
flying
and
sounds
jump to
so
these
cool.
systems.
It was cool in Outer Wilds until your ship accidentally flew into the sun because it was on autopilot, and that was the fastest course it could find. It theoretically is... I mean, the first time you burn up in the sun because your ship autopiloted you in there, it's pretty funny. But subsequent attempts, it's kind of frustrating.
And you will need to upgrade your ship and skills if you want to jump to the most distant ones. But for now, we'll plot a course to the Alpha Centauri system, where we can find the city of New Atlantis.
New Atlantis, huh? That's a bit of a... Yeah, some of this stuff looks a bit daunting, like the UI. I guess that's the kind of thing I really can't gauge. It looks intimidating.
Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's
You got 100 missiles and 100 lasers and 100 ballast. I don't know.
cleared for landing at New Atlantis.
Mining outpost and a lot of outposts. That doesn't bode well. A lot of outposts to clear out and gain control of, like an Ubisoft game.
As soon as you land in a city like New Atlantis, your eyes are guided upwards to just these boundless, vast
This looks
buildings.
fun. I want to walk around this town.
Biggest city we've ever made.
I want to talk to these
Not
folks.
just in size, but also in the amount of custom art, crowds, and quests.
So the main focus when we're designing a city is obviously what supports the story. We try and tell as many small stories as possible.
This is a colony war memorial.
It's a few moments of...
So obviously the worst thing they could do in terms of quest design would mimic Fallout 4's. Again, this is me worrying that it's going to be Fallout 4 with a new coat of paint. The quest design in Fallout 4 was bad. A lot of quests boiled down to go to location A, kill the people there, retrieve the MacGuffin, and bring it back. And a lot of the quests didn't really have any major impact on the story. It was just tedious fetch quests, sometimes quite literally in the form of radiant quests. The quest design in Fallout 4 was largely awful. There were a few well-designed ones that had a bit more effort put into them, but by and large, Fallout 4 had some pretty bad quest design. I'm really hoping that they make an improvement in that regard.
Gameplay that make the space feel like it's full of real characters that are going about their day-to-day lives.
I would love that.
It's paralyzed if you really stop and think about it.
Buddy, it's coffee. It's also where your adventure with Constellation begins.
And there's your Pip-Boy opening doors. Maybe.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about.
There's the
By
new
time
railroad.
you meet them, Constellation is sort of seen as this mythical group. Most people don't even know they exist anymore. They're the last true explorers in the galaxy, and they're trying to find the answers to some of humanity's biggest questions.
Okay, I'm not really sure what to make of that. They're the last explorers. Isn't the entire game about exploration? Did everyone just establish a base and decide to stop exploring? It's weird.
The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. The artifact, if you could place it on the table here.
Oh my god. Look at how it's coming together.
That means there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
It's definitely an eclectic cast of characters. You've got Sarah Morgan, the
The characters really will make this. Like, so far I'm not sold on the plot. The plot seems a bit silly, but if the characters are good enough, then it would be forgivable. So I'm not sure if these characters are going to have personality infused with them, or if it's going to be overly forced like it was with some of the characters in Andromeda. Hopefully they're well written, because that is really what's going to make it or break the experience, I think.
soldier and adventurer, now Constellation's leader. Mateo,
At least for the hub
a
world areas.
theologian who believes that there's definitely something else out there. Noel, the gifted scientist in Sarah Morgan's
Yeah, if they're good, that'll be nice.
Constellation's financing. Sam Coe, the former space cowboy, and Barrett.
You know what I hate about these pirates? Completely resistant to my otherwise irresistible charm.
The journey
could
you
be
take
charming.
with Constellation is just the first of many you'll embark on. The Settled Systems is home to all kinds of different stories, people, and adventures for you to uncover.
You know, it was a silly little joke. It's fine, as long as he doesn't force too many of those.
United Colonies is where you'll find New Atlantis, the first.
I feel like it's at least a step in the right direction to not make all these people really obnoxious, you know? It seems like they have a lot of charm to them compared to previous games like Fallout 4 where a lot of the characters were insufferable. You wonder how many romance options there are. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see, huh?
Major human settlement in space.
Is this even the kind of game that would benefit from having romance options, though? Like, in Mass Effect, it kind of made a bit more sense because it was kind of a linear story you were telling. But in a game that's all about exploration and leaving and not settling down your roots anywhere, unless of a forced story progression, I'm not sure if it would fit all that well. There's not a lot of modded, like for New Vegas and stuff, there are some characters you can romance with mods, but it never really felt right. Some games just don't feel right to have romance interests. And I was never too sold on Skyrim system either, but that also could have just been because there were 1,000 romance interests and they were also very shallow, like just generic dialogue everywhere.
The people who live here value law, discipline, and the legacy of humanity. They can.
You say it's been confirmed there's only 4 romance options. Okay, it's a tight number. Good. You know, it's good. If there were more than 4 romance options, then I would say that they're probably just just adding romance options for the sake of it. But if it's a small number like that, it means they can actually devote it to make it less annoying or awkward and have them feel like real people and not just that character that you got the hots for that you say enough dialogue choices for them, and then they take off their clothes. So as long as there's an actual romance that has some depth to it, again, that's going to highly depend on the characters' personalities and charm and the dialogue system, which hopefully is good.
Consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your
Okay, I think I missed
the
this.
legacy of humanity. People who live here value law, discipline,
Talk about the
and
settlers.
the legacy of humanity. They consider themselves the true children of Earth.
You ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, even get your UC citizenship?
New Atlantis
Is
isn't
this
the
Space
only
Brotherhood of
city
Steel?
within the United
I don't know.
Colonies. The city of Sidonia on Mars to this day serves as the largest mining facility for the United Colonies.
Oh, jeez.
Beyond the
11
United
hours without an
Colonies'
incident.
reach, you might find yourself in a much more wild and independent coalition of star systems. This is Freestar Collective Space.
So, again, if they don't have any sentient alien species to talk to, they can at least do some interesting things with the AI, because it looks like there are robots and AIs, and they can at least have some personality and flavor, so it's not all humans. They could have some variety. Space New Vegas,
The
yeah,
capital
maybe.
of the Freestar Collective is Aquila City.
The Stone Root Inn is an Aquila City fixture.
Is this the crime planet?
Ranger relies on judgment and intuition to do what's best for the people.
Neon started out as a fishing platform, but is now known throughout the settled systems as a pleasure city, where almost anything goes.
Ah, what are
If
these?
you've got morality issues, this definitely isn't the job for you.
That's the crime planet.
Ryujin is hiring
Ah, it's
the
Omega.
best and brightest of today for our future tomorrow.
Everyone has been chewed up and ground up by Neon. Try not to get yourself killed, all right?
Outside the bounds of civilized space, there are still plenty of unclaimed systems to explore, but these areas are also home to the most hostile factions in the galaxy.
The ones that will not talk to you, yep.
Serpent hungers. All heathens shall be made dust in time.
Wait, is this another generic humanoid faction?
Face. This is the face of a brave runner here to challenge the Red Mile.
It's the Crimson Fleet again.
The galaxy is theirs. They are wrong. It belongs to the Crimson Fleet. It always has.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you.
So it sounds like the Crimson Fleet could be another band of humanoids for you to go out and kill, like spacers and pirates and stuff like that. But they also might be the equivalent of the Legion in the sense that they could be that if you wrong them, but you also have the potential of joining them. We'll have to see, but right now at this point, I'm worried that there might just be a wide variety of humanoids to kill out there, and you're just going to be a mass murderer.
Slice of humanity's future.
So, ready to get out there?
Throughout the galaxy, there are so many things to see and stories to experience. But the most important story is the one that you tell. I'm the type of person who spends hours in character creation, and I think people are going to be really excited when they see all of the improvements we've made.
Nice concept art here.
One of the biggest overhauls was done through our character generation system. We scanned a wide range of faces from different age groups and ethnicities. And by mixing and matching out that data, we were able to create highly
Mixing and
detailed
matching, just like
diverse
you're going to
characters.
mix their heads with their bodies and have
Use
different
that exact
ethnicities like you do with
system
Fallout
to create
4.
all the characters and NPCs you're going to see in the game. So any character you see almost always is a character you could make yourself.
Hey, come on. Come on. Okay, take it easy. You were out cold.
A couple days now?
No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
Is this the beginning of the game? Or maybe like, yeah, this is probably like 10 minutes after the game begins.
You start your character creation journey as though you're cycling through employee records. You'll pick from a lineup of 40 presets, and that'll be your starting point.
And then you'll customize them. Yep.
Your journey from there can be as detailed or as quick as you want it to be. This new system has more to offer than ever before.
Seems like they've done a lot with the character customization. I'm not sure how much you're going to see your own character, but it looks like at least they've got this part down packed.
With the various facial morphs you can blend together, the dermesthetic and makeup, blemishes, scars, piercings, teeth settings.
All right, you got it. You got the character creation down packed. We got that. Oop, I'm just pausing repeatedly, aren't I?
Is more than just how you look. Basic skills.
From chef to Dusty. You know, the crew still has a betting pool about which restaurant critic you must have crossed to wind up here.
What's great about backgrounds is you never know when yours is going to come in handy. You could be in the middle of a fancy restaurant talking to some guy, and suddenly you learn he needs a beast hunter.
Oh, here we go. So you can see some of the dialogues. Okay, so they're no longer limited to 4 choices. And it looks like your chosen traits and perks and stuff like that will change dialogue. That's good. So if you've got the Beast Hunter perk here, you get to pass the barter check. I'll track down the beast and bring back your beans. Okay, so apparently this is the quest to retrieve stolen beans because a beast stole it. I'm worried about the quests. It might just be questing for the sake of quest. It could be fun, make no mistake, but it seems... I don't know. This does seem to be at least a better dialogue system, absolutely. It looks like New Vegas's, but maybe with a higher emphasis on perks having an impact on dialogue, and less just having high enough points into different stats, which is better. I like it this way.
To help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway, given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the option.
Did you choose an option that didn't?
Needs a beast hunter to help track down a monster.
Fine. I probably should stick to professionals anyway.
Oh, okay. That's him passing the speech check. Got it.
Given what happened the last time.
We're also giving you the...
I thought it was denying you the quest. Oh, I need to stick to professionals. You're obviously not up to my... Okay. I was just not paying attention, apparently.
Option to customize your build even further by letting you pick up to 3 traits. Traits are completely optional, and they come with their own advantages and disadvantages.
All right, good to see those.
You could choose to meet your biggest fan.
By Vectera! Is it really you?
Ah, nice.
So join your
nice little callback to Oblivion there. Everyone knows him.
Put up with this constant commentary.
I can't believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air.
I've got to have every molecule.
My favorite trait is kid stuff. You have to pay some credits to support your parents, but they're very sweet, and it's really fun to go visit them.
Honey, we got ourselves a visitor.
Oh my god!
I came across some hostile zealots.
Some of the character animations are a bit stiff.
Because I'd chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any...
Serpent's Embrace. We can distract them with a litany of the faith. I will give you a passage to recite. So again, this is a way to get past the... This is a way to get past the Raiders or the Raider faction without actually having to kill them. You give them a passage by selecting the perk for Serpent's Embrace. Again, a way to circumvent just wholesale mass slaughter of every single thing you see is something I will happily embrace. So if that's what I'm looking at here, I am happy to see it.
But because I had chosen a trait that made me the same religion as them, I was able to get by without any issues.
I am every religion. I don't need to fight anybody. I am every religion. I believe in all the faiths, even the conflicting ones.
There's another great one that gives...
I can imagine someone who's trying to go for a full pacifist playthrough, choosing one religion, going to those areas, and then having a crisis of faith and deconverting or converting to a different religion, and then going to those areas, and then 2 days later converting again and going to those areas just so they don't get shot up.
You a damage buff when your health is low, but mercenaries will randomly show up and try to kill you.
Bounty hunters.
No matter what you choose,
good. Talent company. That's exactly the opposite of what I wanted to see. Diplomat. I get experience with these kinds of situations. There are lives at stake. Yeah, so at least there's multiple options here. You know, there's quite a lot to choose from. Let me help you, hear me, let me try. It seems like there might be quite a few different ways to say, I'm going to do this, but we'll see.
No matter what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell your story. And if you want to remove what you choose, there will be plenty of ways for you to tell you.
Okay, this is the kind of thing that appeals to me. I'm looking forward to this. And this is I heard that there might be a new kind of persuasion system here. So +1, there's no reason for us to have a problem, is there? And then if you got Cyber Runner, yeah. So it looks like these are more difficult to pass speech checks: green, yellow, and red. Okay, seems like it's a bit more involved. It says persuasion down here. Hold on, I can't really see because of the scroll bar, but it looks like you could have it looks like it's taken a leaf out of the Council. If you remember that I played that many years ago. The Council was like a Telltale game, and you could have like these conversation challenges with important characters, and you could pass and fail sentences. You know, they could challenge you, and you could try to pass their challenge, but you'd fail it. But that wouldn't necessarily fail the entire conversation. Like, there would be an actual conversation, and you'd have three or four different opportunities to fail without completely failing. Like, you could make a mistake here and there, but you'd still be able to pass the conversation if you passed enough checks or chose the right options. So if that is the route they're going, I am there for that. I am 100% there for that. I want to play this game simply for that dialogue system alone.
Your story. And if you want to remove a trait, there are ways to do that too.
What a view! It's a feast for the eyes. Off we go to another adventure.
We'll let you discover that on your own.
Come on. Just kill the adoring fan outright. Get a different perk. You want there to a Deus Ex speech system where you can fail and pass by choosing the right sentence and tone based on personality. As long as it's a bit more involved than what we currently have with the Fallout games, I'll be satisfied. And if it's really in-depth, I'll be super happy.
Once you've built the perfect character, that's when your journey can really begin. We took what we loved about skills and perks from our previous games and put them together to create an all-new skill system. Each time you
See, hunting things like that, hostile life forms, is a lot more fun than just shooting generic raiders.
Rank up skills. Ranks are unlocked by completing challenges.
Oh god, the lockpicking minigame again. Is the last one. You can have infinite attempts. Expend a digit pick to eliminate keys that aren't required to solve the puzzle. 5 auto attempts can be banked. Again, this just seems like the first thing I'm going to try and mod out is the lockpicking and the hacking and all the obnoxious, annoying minigames that I was tired of 10 years ago, but still keep getting put into games today.
Associated with that skill.
Vomit. I'm just tired of looking at that. I'm sorry. I'm already tired of looking at that.
As you work your way to higher ranks.
So this is intimidation. Cause them to flee so you can escape or attack first and prove critical in a battle. So this is kind of like what Fallout 4 did for their quote pacifist run. You really couldn't pass quests. You couldn't pass quests passably. You know, you could intimidate someone, you could pacify them, and then walk past them and go into a building. And then when you come out again, they would be hostile again, and you'd have to try to pacify them again, and maybe you'd fail that pacification check. Yeah, you could force them to flee for a limited time, and then you come back outside and they're hostile again. So, hopefully this is better than that system, but I don't know if it's going to be. You can force an NPC up to 10 levels higher than you to flee for a limited time. Intimidated targets now flee for substantial amounts of time, and then, you know, after 2 minutes they'll come back to their exact position. I don't know.
As you work your way to higher ranks.
Do we think we're going to play this ASAP or wait for some modding resources to be out first? Again, I don't really know what we're going to do with this, which is part of the reason why I'm looking at it right now, because I really haven't sat down to think about how we're going to do Starfield. I suppose as professional YouTubers, we should be here since Bethesda games are our bread and butter, but we might end up waiting. We might end up waiting for modding resources to be out so we can do it the way we want to do it. I don't know. Or maybe we'll do a little bit of both. Maybe we'll take a couple looks at it, begin with, and then like a year later we'll do a full series. I don't know. I just don't know.
With our 5 different skill trees and 4 ranks per skill, there's a lot to choose from.
Still worried about choice paralysis there.
Sociology skill because it lets you mind control aliens.
Okay, again, another pacifist option. That's nice. Oh, and you get the option to pacify, make them flee. You can pacify them, make them flee, make them frenzy, or control them. Okay. As long as it's not like a skill-based, like a percentage-based thing. Because if you're trying to go for a pacifist run, and there's like a 90% chance to intimidate an enemy, and then you have to like constantly re-roll because you failed that roll. Yeah, as long as it's a better system than what they had in Fallout 4.
Boost pack out of the gate. I'm boost packing everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of games can be improved with that. Absolutely. One of the first upgrades I'll go for too, I'm sure.
Physical tree so I can get neuro strikes and just punch my way through combat.
Spacers. Murdering people. Yep.
That one's a lot of fun.
An ecliptic specialist.
Your playstyle.
I'm very much a stealth player. So, I'm out there pickpocketing everyone. My favorite
Slight
part
insecurity.
about being stealthy is slowly creeping through vents like you're in a movie.
That could be fun, yeah.
And then jumping out and springing on
What, you need a
people.
perk for that? Weird. Hey,
Whenever
you're
possible,
killing Slate
I
and
like to
security
talk
now.
my way through situations.
This area's off limits. Fine, I'll issue you an access card.
I'm more of a run and gun player.
More dead
I like
spacers.
doing a death from above thing where I boost pack over guys and I throw landmines at them.
Yeah, lots of spacers there.
I like blowing stuff up.
And there's pirates. We got some pirates we're slaughtering. So far, we're about halfway through this, and I am not sold on the combat. I mean, it looks fun and everything, but again, my issue is with the wholesale slaughter of just humanoids and nothing but humanoids, and I'm kind of tired of it. So, I don't know. I don't want to harp on it too much. I think I'll stop talking about that, but just know that that's kind of putting me down a little bit. It's just not great enemies selection. Let me shoot aliens. Let me shoot hostile robots. Let me shoot anything but more humanoids.
Exploration is a key aspect of all our games. In Starfield, there are full star systems with new life, resources, and adventures.
New life, you say, or new death. You can kill them.
Our team worked hard to strike a balance between
nice.
fun and realism. We studied data from NASA and
You don't need to really embrace realism. A lot of people try to embrace realism, but embracing fun is the #1 priority.
multitude of other sources to help us make the world feel believable. From the way we approached planetary atmospheres to the way we placed biomes based on the planet's distance from the sun. Once we had created,
So your health bar is a little yellow in this scene right here. It's not empty, it's just turned yellow. Is that radiation? Do you have radiation poisoning here? Is that a thing? Do you still get radiation poisoning in this game? Do you got to inject yourself with some right away?
its distance from the sun. Once we had created a grounded world, we could start looking at all the things that make that world fun.
That might just be
when
the
you
empty.
leave a planet and head into space, you'll be navigating asteroid
Space looks
fields,
beautiful. The space
having
exploration looks
chance meetings
beautiful.
With interesting strangers, dogfighting in space.
Crimson
and
Fleet, you're killing the
exploring
Crimson Fleet right there.
derelict ships. It's all out there. Ultimately, it's about rewarding your curiosity, because whether it's on the surface of a planet, the alleys of a city, or the vastness of space, you never know what you'll find.
And that's something that wasn't in New Vegas that they could improve on. That Fallout 4 did a little bit of improvement for is having dungeons and ruins to explore and lots of cool areas to check out. Like the exploration aspect was kind of missing in New Vegas. Like that was probably one of its weakest aspects, but it seems to be the main focus for this, which is great. It's definitely one of its strongest points. The spacers seem like reskin radar. That's my sentiment exactly. So the gun custom, everything about this game looks nice. The RPG elements seem
Space
great.
Exploration is possible.
Dialogue
thanks to
system
your
so
ship.
far seems great.
Your ship is almost like having another character or home you can make all your own. I think you'll be blown away by the amount of stuff you can do. You can buy a ship.
I'm sure you can find something you like.
Customize and upgrade that ship. And hire a crew to keep it up and running. And it all starts in spaceports.
Sure, of course. Where else would it be? Can't pick up space
Every
hitchhikers.
spaceport has a ship technician where you can purchase, sell, and modify ships.
Anything I can help you with?
Sell me a people. Sell me a people to man my ship. Review and modify my ship. Let's see what ships you have for sale. I can just trade my ship in for a different ship. I want a better ship.
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that...
Fallout 3 showed off more aliens than we've seen here. Yeah, bipedal aliens at least, yeah.
It's perfect for bounty hunting. Then you might round out your ship roster with a hulking space freighter to run cargo missions, or even do a little smuggling. For now, though, we're going to take our starting ship, the Frontier, and make some changes.
God, that thing looks like a amalgamation. It does not look like it's space ready at all.
You can customize and upgrade everything you see here. And you have two ways to do that. You can quickly upgrade individual systems like your weapons or shields, or you can deep dive and enter the shipbuilder mode. Here you can change anything, from the systems to the look and layout.
Again, this seems like it might be a bit too much customization, because there is such a thing as choice paralysis, and if you give me 1,000 different things to put on my ship, I'm not going to know what I want to do with it, and I'll end up just making a plank with 2 wings on it.
Adding a new habitat module can give you more
It's
room
meant to
for
look ugly to encourage you to update it.
Adding cowling can change your ship's overall silhouette.
If it was intended to look ugly, I guess they did a good job in that regard.
An improved grav drive allows for longer distance space jumps.
Which you'll need eventually, I'm sure. That's going to be a mandatory upgrade.
You can customize your paint job to get the exact look you want.
I'm going to have a big red ship, I'm sure.
The parts you choose to build with don't just affect your ship's stats. They'll also affect what you can do inside your ship. You can have modules for crafting, or for storing and displaying your weapons.
It's a portable base.
In-game ship manufacturers bring their own look and feel to every piece of your ship.
I feel like this is the improvement on base building, because Fallout 4 had, you could have like 30 or 40 different bases, and by the time you got to your 10th one, you were just kind of tired of making bases. It looks like you still have different, quote, settlements, but they're just like mining outposts you can establish. You can set them up, and then never worry about them again. Make sure you got enough tourists to defend them or something, and then move on. You just have essentially one base that is your one base, which is kind of how we've already played our games. You know, we've got Novak in New Vegas, and we've got Red Rocket Gas Station in Fallout 4, and we got the Tundra Homestead in Skyrim. We just have one base, and I think that they're embracing it this time and just giving you the one portable base and letting you have just the one and not having 30 different smaller bases that you never want to visit anyway. So that's an improvement, I would say.
From living quarters to cargo holds, mess halls, and control rooms.
Yeah, it looks nice. These ships all look not bad. Yeah, you definitely made an improvement over that one that was falling apart.
A practical ship, but with a little creativity, your ship can look like almost anything you want.
You're gonna be flying Sony penises through space.
One of my favorite ways of customizing
no idea.
ships is I make them look like animals. The HMS Platypus, as I called it.
That's kind of fun.
Where it had a giant tail to it. And we've done...
I'm sure there's going to be an entire community of people just showing off their spaceship designs. I'm sure that's a thing.
We've done mechs.
So Optimus
really
Prime.
Whatever your imagination is.
That is
And
ridiculous.
while you can build your home among the stars the way you want to, you're probably
Okay, I
not
love
the
that.
only person who will call your ship home.
That was good. The spaceship design is going to be great, I'm sure.
Engines ready.
The Frontier is fueled and ready, Captain.
Some of the members of Constellation can join you on your journey. These companions can serve on your crew, and they'll always be there when you travel.
We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
This could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, depending on if you give them enough things to say. Because we have this with Fallout 4, where we have the 3D NPCs, settlers mods, and we bring named settlers onto our settlement, so they're there and they have funny barks, and we keep them around for about a few months, and then once they've said all their funny lines, we move them. We ship them off to a different settlement so they can recite their same lines away from us. So these settlers on your ship, these crewmates, could be very fun, but it really depends on how much effort goes into each one. I don't know. And one other thing that I didn't really touch on is that in previous games, all these Bethesda games, Skyrim especially, there were so many followers and companions, different the vanilla ones and then companion, modded ones as well. And there's just too much to bring along with you, you know? There are 9 New Vegas companions and like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dozen modded companions available for New Vegas, and you can't bring them with you. You can't really enjoy them to their fullest. You can only bring 1 or 2 with you at a time. But if they weren't companions, if they were instead crewmates, then you can make some really in-depth crewmates. And designing your own follower can be really tedious because you've got to have a lot of different barks. You got to have a lot of different lines. If they're on fire, if they get knocked unconscious, they have to have a bunch of different lines. If they say if they get up, if they spot an enemy, they have to have a bunch of different lines for them to say if they spot an enemy. Or it could be like we're New California, where they only have one line and it gets really repetitive, and you hate those characters because they only have one line. So I feel like there's a lot of potential for crewmates to be created by modders. You know, I can imagine if someone wants to sit down and make a fun Morgan Freeman companion for your crew, you can make a fun crewmate, and it wouldn't necessarily need to have 10,000 lines of dialogue. You could probably get along with, 1,000 or 2,000, and it'd still be really good. And then the people that are real diehard modders can make the really involved crewmates that have a bunch of stuff to say. It feels like you never hear the same thing twice. I could see the crewmate system being a lot more interesting than the follower system. It has a lot of potential here, I think.
Each companion comes with their own valuable skills for your ships and outposts, as well as unique quest lines. Eventually, some friendships might blossom into romance.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know that I've ever really loved anyone except you.
And if you're looking for a little extra help on your ship, you can always hire additional crew at spaceports.
Because, if you think about it, if you think about some of the mods we've done in the past, we've done some crew companions, We've done some companion quests. We pick up a companion, like in New Vegas, we do their quest, and after an hour or 2, we're just done with them. Even if they're decent, even if they're fun, we move on because there's so many other ones to get out to. But if you can make them like a staple of your team, if you can make them a crew member, just a fun person you come back to visit, like we kind of do with Novak. We have the settlement of beloved yet neglected companions where we can't really do anything new with these characters, but it's still fun to come home to them and have them say occasionally fun things to each other. It's nice. It's homey. So I can see that adding a lot more flavor and a lot more comfort to your base.
Got any room on your ship for someone like me?
Even someone who might be annoying could be really fun to have on your crew.
Still think there might be a spot for me on your ship? I gotta get off this rock.
Assign crew to your ship or outposts, and their unique skills will affect how they run. And just like companions, most crew members can lend a hand in the field. Take Bosco, for instance.
He said most. He said most, not all. So there are some crew members, it sounds like, that can just be crew members, not necessarily full-on modded or full-on followers and companions. They could be a bit less developed and just be restricted to crew member status, which would be nice. It's nice to have characters that maybe aren't great for combat you can still have on part of your team. Moo to you too, thank you. Because I said moose. I got it. Loyalty quests like in Mass Effect 2, again, those would be welcome. That's great. I think loyalty quests and companion quests are great ways to attach yourself to a character because it showcases their personalities if they're done well, and it showcases their traits, and it just endears you more to them.
The core basics of a NASA machine.
Please avoid getting shot. You might die.
I still wanted to give it almost a humanoid personality, so I elongated the limbs.
Absolutely. I need more humanoid robots.
More human-like.
The robots that just beep and boop at me are annoying.
It is a shame. Exploration requires so much bloodshed.
Man, I feel like that's going to be like the highlight. That quote right there. It's a shame that exploration requires so much bloodshed. It's going to be my one-sentence review of this game is what it feels like. Because I want to... so much of this game looks good to me, but I'm still a little hung up about all the slaughter you have to do. From what I've seen.
Using the shipbuilding tools and crew selection features in Starfield, you'll be able to build and captain the ship of your dreams. And now, let's take to the sky.
Yea, verily. To the final frontier. Hopefully that cutscene doesn't play every single time, because Andromeda had that problem. This feels like the crack in time Ratchet and Clank space travel.
Your very own spaceship, and telling you that you can do pretty much anything, and that is really cool for us as developers. Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous, and you should feel like you're in complete control every step of the way. We've extended that sense of control to ship combat. It's not about just hitting your triggers to fire your weapons.
Spacer Raccoon.
It's a complex dance between your piloting skills and our power allocation system. Boosting power to your engines will make your ship faster.
What is this FTL system we got going on here?
Powering up the ground drives will shorten the amount of time it takes before you can make a jump.
We're just grabbing things from all these other great games, huh?
And moving your power to your weapons and shields means you're ready for a fight.
This is straight up FTL.
You should always be on your toes because you're not alone out there.
As long as the interface isn't bad, as long as I can quickly shift between those, it's not awful. It looks like it's not that bad. It's done with a D-pad, so it's okay.
Unlocking the targeting control system skill will allow you to zero in on specific subsystems.
Why are we
of
hunting
the ship
Crimson
you
Fleet
target.
people? Is Crimson Fleet just going to be hostile by default? Or did you piss them off earlier and I didn't see that? Are they just going to be another generic raider faction? I'm going to get hung up on that.
After destroying an enemy ship, you can loot the remains from your cockpit. You can always turn
Well, that's
any ship that
handy.
engages you.
That's one of the things that kind of gets passed by a bit too much these days is the harvesting and the looting system, because it really slows things down and it can be kind of obnoxious. So it looks like if you just drive over their corpses, you get all the loot. And even though that's not necessarily realistic, it does mean it's a lot less annoying. I'm tired of having to stop.
Remains from your cockpit.
I'm tired of
You
having
can
to
always
stop
turn
and
any
pick
ship
things
that
up.
engages you into scrap.
You murder them, get experience, drive over
You
them.
can also take a more personal approach by docking with the enemy vessel and boarding their ship.
Oh, what's this? Hello. Oh, you just get in there and murder them face to face? I thought we were going to talk them down or take them hostage or something. Boo! I wanted a pacifist option and you just slaughtered them again.
Once you've taken control of an enemy ship, it's yours.
Why? Why would you even board the ship if you're just going to kill them outright? Just finish them off. Explode them. I guess maybe if you like their ship and you want to take it for yourself, I guess maybe that's the only reason you didn't blow it up outright. Boarding ships sounds so cool. Yeah, I suppose, but it depends on what the reward is, I guess.
Add it to your fleet and retrieve it at any spaceport. But space is way more than fighting for your life. Just like when you're planetside, there are plenty of sights to see and stops to make on the way to your next adventure. Like these massive star yards. Walk the halls, talk to the crew.
Nice.
Maybe get talked into buying a whole new ship.
A civilian in my star yard. Let's see about getting you a proper ship.
I spent an entire hour building my ship, but yes, I'd like to trade it in for whatever you've got. Also, that's a weird facial tattoo. Not quite sure what to make of that. Very odd.
One worthy of you.
Maybe
You had a
dock with
tattoo on your lip,
gigantic
too, which is
battleship
not
like the UC
comfy, I
Vigilance.
imagine. Ooh, a beret. Nice. I like berets.
Or rub elbows with the galaxy's wealthy elite on a cruise ship fit for the stars.
Weird, okay.
There are plenty of personal
I don't hate
encounters
it.
to be had as well. You can hail any ship you come across to trade, swap info, or maybe
Piracy. I want everything in your cargo hold right now. Do you have to take the piracy perk to do that? I don't know. What's the trade authority? Heard anything interesting? So have you heard any rumors? Ah, yes. The Jarl has put out a bounty.
Maybe even commit an act of piracy.
Let's do this. When I'm playing, I generally go crazy. I definitely go like the more piracy routes.
Well, it seems like it's guiding you towards being a psychopath, so I'm not necessarily sure that's you living your fantasy. I think it might be the thing that the game has convinced you want.
Want to take over ships. I'm gonna board ships. I'm like, this is now mine. I steal all the sandwiches and put them, in my cargo hold that I have specifically for sandwiches. I don't want to play the hero, but I want to go out and just start taking things from people as quickly as possible.
People make their own fun sometimes.
Might be looking for a little human connection in the darkness of space.
Hello, stranger. I just finished cooking up some food. If you want to come on over, just pop on by.
Ooh.
Some of the best moments are the ones you discover.
So that actually seems like it might be interesting. Someone called Grandma is hailing you and saying, come over for cookies. And you have to make a choice here. Like, do I actually want to trust this person? I don't know. It seems like it could be sketchy. If I board, am I going to get shot at? I don't know.
Own. The thing I love most about Starfield is that it is a Bethesda game through and through. It's really about going to strange new places, meeting interesting people, and getting sidetracked on zany adventures. Then, realizing 2 hours later that you're involved in a completely new story.
You're human. We thought we were the only ones to leave Earth.
That DNA is so present here. It's in our random encounters, it's in our handcrafted quests, and it feels...
I like handcrafted quests. I hope handcrafted quests are the majority of quests, and I hope you kill Radiant quests, because I don't want to do any of them anymore, ever again.
It's so cool to play it and just make your own path in this universe. There are over 1,000 planets out there, just waiting for you to visit.
Yeah, some of them might be
we want you to feel like explorers.
Good planets.
Breaking ground on new planets, exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy.
Again, the exploration aspect seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. That's one of the things that I really liked about The Long Dark, and I still love to this day, is that there are lots of different places you can go and check out the things that you can find there. Like, you can find ancient ruins, you can find novel new life forms, you can find crazy plant life and crazy beasts in this game, it seems like. So I think the exploration is going to be the most enticing aspect of this game.
We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder. And sometimes a little fear.
Crimson Fleet again.
We're giving you a massive playground and a ton of toys. And just setting you free.
Seems like Earth was destroyed. We all had to leave Earth because it got destroyed. I don't know. It seems like it might have been Earth there. Well, we have the ability to go into space and travel different star systems, but we can't terraform Earth. I don't know.
Something a little bit different. You know, we put so much detail into our game world.
What are you showing
and
me?
We love the opportunity to bring that into the real world with our collector's editions. And
Oh,
for
you're
this
gonna show off.
game, we've done a watch.
No, you're going to show me the $100 edition. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Buy the box.
Not only that,
Buy the box full of stuff. I know.
Starfield isn't just a Bethesda Game Studios world. It's Starfield. The freedom to experience both the exciting planets and the quiet ones.
Sounds good.
Scanning a planet before you land is a great way to get a sneak peek
Okay, planet scanning. Still a little hesitant about that.
at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
Okay.
I think what's cool about this...
I'm still just a little burned on the Mass Effect 2 scanning, which is very tedious. It was fun the first time, but after like 2 hours of doing that, you're kind of done for the rest of forever. So hopefully it's not bad.
Whole system that we generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself...
Oh, what was that about procedural content?
A great way to get a sneak peek at the available resources you can use for crafting, building, and customizing.
I think what's cool about this whole system that we generate the planet itself as a procedural content, but the handcrafted content itself comes as the player explore.
Okay.
Our system builds a planet as the player approaches it. We stitch together a block of terrain.
I heard procedural generation and alarm bell started ringing off in my head, so I was a little like, oh, what? Just did my neck snapped. Like, what did you say? I've seen a lot of bad procedural systems lately. They can be good, but most of the time they are shallow, and I am really worried that this game might be shallow. That's one of my bigger concerns, so there's a little concern there when he said that.
After that, we have the system that adds interesting locations for the player to explore.
That's how they make maps. As long as it's just how they make maps, and then they go back in and touch it up. As long as it's not how they do everything.
Creatures to encounter.
Why is the herbivore hostile?
And plants to pick up. It allows us to add that touch of environmental storytelling that Bethesda is known for.
Environmental storytelling is fine.
Aggressive creatures have been disrupting our
I'm worried that there might be too much environmental storytelling because the bad guys are all hostile shoot on sight, but we will see.
pyramids. Their habitat isn't far from here. If you could take care of them for us, we would be in your debt.
So even if your friends were to visit the same planet that you had, you would have a different story to tell.
Science facility. We're breaking into the science facility. What generic baddies are we going to shoot here? Or are we going to have like an actual human-human conversation? Oh, I am the embodiment of my own disappointment. I'm just going to have to get over it. This is going to be another shoot 'em up. So far, everything seems good to me except for maybe the quest design. I'm a little iffy on that because it seems like a lot of it might just be go here, kill them. Go here, kill them, loot the area.
It's completely up to you how you want to interact with each planet. Whether you want to explore,
if you want to kill everything with the guns, or if you want to kill it with blades, it's up to you.
Resources and be on your way, or simply take in the views. With the help of your scanner, you'll chart the uncharted and discover exotic wildlife.
If you have the skills, you can even figure out...
So why is it percentage scanned? You went from 88 to 100 just there. Do you have to scan multiple mothwing grazers, or do you have to scan it multiple times? I'm not sure what the system is with that. I can see the scanning system getting annoying. I've done quite a few games with scanning systems, and they can be done good and they can be done bad. We'll have to see what we get here.
To certain creatures and plants, you can build an outpost and produce resources from those plants and animals. You can get experience and rewards for fully surveying planets and fully surveying a whole system.
And 3 hive structures there. That's a cool looking alien.
Concepting these creatures, we really wanted to think of them
as
cool
cool looking
natural
alien
to the environment. We didn't want alien monsters. We wanted native wildlife. Something you've never seen before.
And again, I'm not inherently opposed to having a no sentient alien game. If you want to tell a space exploration game that doesn't have alien life forms, that's fine. It's a novel way to do it. But you are taking one of the major enemy archetypes out of your game. And so far, I've seen a bit too much of the Raider archetype.
When it comes to our exteriors, when the sun moves, all that light is calculated in real time through the atmosphere. Our biggest goal for lighting with Starfield was to make the game feel more filmic. To use
graphics do need great lighting.
To really
it was one of the improvements that 76 did from what I've seen. Fallout 4 had some pretty bad lighting at times, but 76 improved on that in the small amount that I played it. Don't want to discount lighting in terms of making the game feel nice.
Here is question, Mike. How much memory is this gonna take? Hopefully not a 1 terabyte game.
Probably 100 gigabytes. I imagine it's going to take up quite a lot of room. You say 140? Wouldn't surprise me. These games are massive these days. Man, my first computer only had 200 gigabytes of storage, period. Well, not my first, but...
After some exploring, you can find a spot to set up a base camp.
Base camp, yep.
Outposts can be built almost anywhere on any planet.
Okay, get some lead out of the ground.
Modules come in all shapes and sizes, filling all different purposes. You can even live in them. Assign crew and companions to work at your outposts for added bonuses, and set up extractors to harvest resources while
This all seems fine. A little boring.
Something we have this time is we have a new fly cam, where you can toggle between on-foot building, or you can now use a top-down isometric camera, which helps plan out larger parts of the outpost and placing those larger halves. So that way you can really plan your structures and what the overall feel of your outpost is. And then when you're on your feet, you can really decorate and fine-tune things much easier.
This seems like a lot of busy work. I'm not sure I'm going to be keen on this. We'll have to see. I say that a lot, but again, you can only gauge so much from the trailers and what they are choosing to show you. Watching like 30 minutes of unedited gameplay would tell me a lot more about this game and whether or not I'd enjoy it to the fullest extent.
Add crafting and research stations in your outpost to utilize any resource.
Okay, you got a crafting system, do you? All right, I'm hesitant. Show me your crafting system.
You find or already have.
Mod your
Barrel
weapons
mods.
to adapt them to your playstyle. Different weapon sights and scopes.
Fallout 4's weapon customization system. Wasn't bad. Could be fun.
Barrels. Different ammunition like explosive rounds.
Needs adhesive and tetrafluorides. Hey, a robot model! Hooray! We're shooting something that's not a human! Hooray!
Players out there will surely need
Oh, and we're back to humans.
You can also choose to go hands-on with melee weapons.
That's a cool enemy. Hey, Ecliptic.
I think it's always a delicate balance between like what's realistic, what's sim, and what's Hollywood. And I think we sort of err on the side of like what's fun for the player.
Spacers. I have seen a lot of humanoid aliens, and if you don't want to, again, nope, I'm saying the same thing 1,000 times. I'm just gonna move on.
With Starfield, we've completely overhauled our combat. It's more
Zealot.
dynamic, the animations are more fluid. It just feels great.
We probably have more mods and more weapons in this game than I want to say any other game we've done before.
Which could be a double-edged sword because hooray customization, but oh no, paralysis of choice.
Upgraded gear is just one of the many factors to pay attention to when engaging in combat. You may need to switch things up based on your environment.
Long-range pistols, long-range
Gravity is
sniper
different
rifles
for
because
each
you're in the
planet,
open.
And boost packs are excellent for getting around.
Yep, feels like boost packs,
And for giving
even though
you
they're
advantage
optional, are going to be a must-have.
Sometimes you'll even feel like you're flying.
Rocket launcher from space. Seems like it's a lot of fun.
Zero-gravity environments pose a different challenge. Firing a ballistic weapon in zero-G will actually push you backwards.
That's fun.
Energy weapons, on the other hand, offer a more stable shooting experience.
Adding another aspect to energy weapons to make them more enticing. Sounds good.
These are high-powered electromagnetic induction ballistic arrays.
So many different
Each barrel
humanoids to
has
kill.
its own targeting laser and can dish out some serious damage.
Cryo mine. Throw it out in the middle of combat.
You want to get up close and personal with your own two fists, or you like more compact weapons like pistols and submachine guns, or maybe you prefer something bigger.
Okay, you've got a wide variety of weapons. It's nice. Ooh, that's a cool enemy.
Starfield's got you covered.
Dead Space much? Well, Dead Space isn't the only game that had jetpacks, but yeah. I'm already bored of watching this person kill humans, let alone being the entire gameplay experience here. Hello, JoJo. So many things that are marked as herbivore and they start killing you. It looks like people are gonna really enjoy this game. It seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Ooh, that's a fun enemy. See, more of that. More like robot enemies or like hostile wildlife enemies. Anything besides more people. Yes, funny ragdoll. Ha ha. Earth has hostile herbivores too. Fair enough. Fair enough. A lot of herbivores are territorial. Rhinos and hippos and whatnot.
Thanks again for being with us today. We are just so grateful that you've taken the time
what's up, JoJo?
and spent it here. I know there was probably a lot to take in. There's a lot to the game, even more than we could show here. You know, as we play it, we're always sharing these unique and special moments that only a game like this can bring. When I think about what makes it special,
Hi, Joe.
it really is the people here. This game is a reflection of the incredible and passionate team that made it. All
I'm
of
sure
them
they've put a lot of
putting
effort into
something
it.
special of
No
themselves
doubt about
into it.
that.
So let's hear some of their favorite moments.
I love the way that our final combination of all the new tech has come together to create some of the most beautiful sunsets and
It
sunrises
absolutely looks
we've ever had in
100%
any of our
beautiful.
games.
I love the creatures, the exploration, every biome
Creatures?
is different.
Looks
The
great.
word that
Everything
comes
about
to
this looks
mind
great.
is vast.
I like to use our photo mode to take rock star photos.
I just love that constant feel of discovery and wow, I can't believe that there's more here.
I'm most excited about our outpost building systems.
My favorite part is every time you step out on a planet, it's a unique experience.
Somebody mentioned the conversation system. Please tell me that someone cared about their conversation system.
And you see it on the landing pad. These things are gigantic. It's the kind of thing that you just can't get anywhere
I love the
else.
quest design. We've done some great quests.
Seeing a tower over in the distance
Somebody!
and going, I know the gravity's low here. I think I can make that jump.
My favorite part is
Biomes, spaceships,
audio design,
planets.
The day-night cycle.
Those details matter to me.
Diplomacy, exploration,
Diplomacy?
freedom.
the ending.
Beskap, obviously.
I love the robot so much.
The incredible amount of worlds we created.
Sniper rifles, come on.
lever action, rocket launcher.
Brain sprout. I love, but some people might find creepy. I don't know. I know it's right, Ben.
It's cool, yeah.
The thing that I enjoy most about the game is the freedom to be who you want to be, do what you want to do. It's what you've come to expect from a Bethesda title, but on a much bigger scale.
So many aspects of this game look great.
All of us, we can't wait for you to play Starfield and make your own special moments.
So many aspects of this game look amazing. I'm just gonna have to get over my desire for strong character moments. There might not be, there might be. I don't know if that's the case. There's gonna be wholesale slaughter of all these bad guys. It's fine. People aren't gonna be twingy about it like I am. They're not gonna have a stick up their butt like I am. Dialogue system seems better. I hope we have a lot of opportunities to use it. Your dialogue system looks good. I'll give it to you. I wasn't sure your dialogue system was going to look good. It looks good enough. I hope I get to do it a lot. I hope there's lots of dialogue in this game. I hope there's speech checks and whatnot. There's a lot of potential here. Yes, all your different things to sell me. Yes. You're afraid it's going to be Fallout 76 squared. You're looking forward to seeing the amazing bugs. There are probably, I mean, with a game this size, there's going to be, I'm sure, no doubt, no shortage of those. But I feel like there's a lot of good things to like about this. I'm looking forward to it. Is it going to be jank on release because Bethesda? Probably. The one thing I'm not sure about that seems to be the biggest red flag for me is the quest design. And granted, I imagine they wouldn't want to showcase their quests in extensive detail because they want you to experience it yourself. You know, they don't want to spoil it. They showed off they have a good dialogue system. They've got decent factions, interesting things to say, likable characters. So I'm assuming that they're going to have some decent quest design and fun quest moments and things like that. And it's not going to be padded out fluff. But then again, it might be padded out fluff. I'm worried about that because Skyrim is one of the best-selling games of all time, and it has some really weak quest design. You know, 1,000 quests, and only like 30 of them are handcrafted, well done. I honestly have not seen enough of Skyrim to accurately pin that number down, but it is just padded out with, you know, lame quests, and I'm worried that might be the majority of this game too. That is the biggest concern for me. You didn't think you'd be this hyped for Starfield? You're still going to wait before purchasing since you want to know how it turns out first? Honestly, I can't blame you. I would be right up there with you. If this channel... Oops, hello, Jojo. Don't get on the desk. If I didn't have a channel that revolved around Bethesda games, I wouldn't even be considering buying this game day one. But it seems like if I do decide to get it day one, I might not regret it, which would be great. I would be so happy to buy a game day one and not regret it. Such a rare experience, I feel, for me. Better to wait at least a week or a month to be safe. This is probably going to, honestly, be the next Fallout 4 or, you know, Skyrim. The kind of game that, even if it's not to my exact liking, it's still going to be the thing that I play for years, so, yeah. Hopefully it's got some depth. Hopefully it's got some interesting quest design. hopefully they've learned their lessons from previous games and made improvements from that. You're planning to watch folks like us post through it before you pick it up.
Joe, don't play with the pen. What are you doing?
Yeah, we'll probably do a little bit of Starfield content at the very beginning. I'm not sure if we'll start an entire series immediately. Again, not sure what the format's going to be. I'm sure Starfield will be featured on the channel in some way or form at some point. I just don't know exactly how. Yeah, the quest design is the only thing I'm really worried about. A lot of shoot-'em-ups here, it feels like. Little foreboding. Fallout 3 didn't have a ton of quests, but there was honestly only maybe 2 you didn't like, but one of those did give you multiple options still. Yeah, Fallout 3 is, what, 15, 20 years old at this point? It's an old game. What, 2008? It's just kind of archaic at this point. I wouldn't be looking to... I feel like every game compared to Fallout 3 should have better quest design. I feel like that's a pretty low bar at this point.